April 18th, 2017. Sun's out. It's a nice day. About this time of year, everybody starts running grills, cooking outside, having cookouts. So, for the longest time, I've been using my father's charcoal grill. And it's been a decent enough grill. The problem with it is charcoal setup time. It's not really convenient. By the time you get everything to light and temperature's good, it kind of sucks. But to be completely honest, when you have the time, charcoal is the better option. But if you just want something quick, I mean, you just don't do it all the time. So I could just go out to Lowe's or Home Depot or some other store and buy a $100 cheap propane grill. That'd be all well and good, but I have absolutely no money. So I was driving down the road in a more well-off neighborhood and came across this one with a free sign on it. I mean, all in all, it's not horrible. Needs a lot of work, though. Yeah. Need to put a good bolt on there. I mean, all the plates are rusted out. I mean, really, it's just falling apart. But the burners themselves aren't too bad. I don't have too much propane in my propane tank right now, but they started up. The igniter's busted, but granted, that might just be the corrosion. The battery in there was green. So I'm going to clean this out, see if I can get this looking real good, and maybe I'll have a decent grill this summer. Now the biggest problem that I have with this so far is the bottom plate. There's really nothing there. It's just flaking off. It's rusted out completely. Now again, I could run out to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a piece of metal to put on there. But as I have a stockpile of junk over in the corner there, I'm going to see if I can kind of put something together so I'm not spending any money. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now, at first I was thinking maybe I could just take a couple pieces of my scrap metal, weld them together, and make a brand new tray. This does have a bend in the back, kind of where it goes down for the drip tray. That doesn't look too horrible, to be completely honest, that part of it. So what I'm thinking is maybe instead of replacing the whole thing, just chopping off all the bad sections and then welding in a couple new pieces. Now, as long as it's not aluminum, I should be able to do that. I should have a magnet here. Okay, so yeah, it's magnetic, so it should be steel. So I should be able to do that. So yesterday was a bit of a bust. Now it's raining today, I can't do too much. Started welding the plates together and basically it just kept burning through. So today, since it is raining, I went ahead and just cleaned up a bit of the inside here. Doesn't clean up too bad. It's just a ton of grease in there. A couple rust spots in the very front. I'm going to take these out because they're rusting. See if I can make up a new version. Basically, it's just a wire with a spark gap. So, see if I can get that done. Alright, so the last couple days I've been taking it pretty easy. It's been raining and whatnot, and not only that, I work 12 hours a day, so it's kind of hard to do any projects while you're doing that. I've grinded down one of the dish plates that I had, and I went ahead and kind of made it a base plate since the original plate that I was working on just was no good. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take another dish and cut out some new heat spreaders because there's no saving that. So I'm going to do that real quick, and that should be the easiest part of the whole project. It's been about a week since I started working on this grow project. Basically, the whole idea in mind is to not spend a single dollar. Well, with the exception of like the grinding wheels and the welding sticks and whatnot. I mean, to be completely honest, it's like a $350 grow. And if I were to just straight up replace the parts, it would have only costed like $60 altogether. But just wanted to see if I could do it without actually spending any money. Now, I did spend about $6 to buy a new thermometer, but that just can't be helped. But hopefully, by tomorrow, I'll have something that I can actually use. So we'll see. Right now, I'm about to cut up the metal plate here. I got it for the most part marked out. Messed up about once or twice, but it's whatever. So I'll get it cut, see what I got. Alright, now that I got them all cut, they all seem to fit proper. I did make them a little bit wider, that way when I bend them, they'll be the proper size with the little arc in them. The only problem with using the dish metal is they all have a couple bolt holes, but that's really not going to matter too much for what I'm using it for. So now I just have to grind it down, sand it down, give it the bend, and then they'll be ready. Now that I've got them all removed of paint, basically I'm going to set them up in this contraption that I've built. It's basically just a piece of wood that I drew a line on to match up the size. Actually, it's easier if I lay it down and do it. Want it kind of in between a couple lines that I put in there. So a little bit back from where exact center is, because you got to account for a little bit of the bend there. Oh. And now for the last one, since my phone keeps cutting out. Basically, all I got to do is give it a nice little bend. Doesn't have to be perfect. All it needs to do is spread it. Then bend the rest of it with my hand a little bit. Then there we go. That'll work. Alright, now that the plates are on and fitted perfectly, just going to run it through a test burn just to make sure that all the, well, any chemicals that might be left on them are burned off. I'll spare you my horrible welding job, but I've got the plate on, got the aluminum foil lined up so it's not going to get too dirty. And then I'm just going to go ahead and reuse plates from the old grill there because they fit, and the ones that came with this one are pretty bad. If I had a sandblaster, I could probably get them to work again, but these will work just fine. But hey, I think I spent a total of $12 on this project through just tools alone. All the metal was recycled, besides the aluminum foil anyway. And the only other thing that I have to get is the replacement thermometer, because the one I got is busted. And yeah, all in all, not too bad. If I did it again though, I'd probably just go ahead and just buy the parts, because hey, I mean, all four of these I could get real cheap stainless steel ones for about 12 bucks. And the plate on the bottom, I really wouldn't recommend it, doing it the way I did it, just because, to be honest, it was a pain in the butt, and I could have just bought a piece of plate steel to put under there for a couple bucks. But hey, all in all, 12 bucks is not bad for what I've got here. So I got the replacement thermometer. I mean, honestly, it's not too bad for like $5, a cheap generic one. But I mean, it's pretty darn identical. The only difference is on the back, this one actually bolted in. This one kind of compresses in. The only thing I'm worried about is trying to get that in there. It was where I thought it would have been. Since the new thermometer doesn't have the 2 bolts, I went ahead and just grabbed 2 bolts from my collection and put them in, just to keep that closed, because I didn't want any heat escaping and doing any damage to the thermometer that it doesn't need to get to. So that's taken care of. That was an unfortunate turn of events. I finally finagled it into place where I wanted it, but it just didn't seem to be tight enough. So I gave it one more turn to try to get it snug on there, and I done broke it. So that was about $6 wasted. So I'll have to order one more, and hopefully the next one won't break when I put that one on. So it's been a couple weeks since I got the grill working. I have no regrets with trying to start a project like this. It was very, very simple. I highly recommend it to anybody. If you see something like that on the side of the road, you think you can fix it up, hey, I mean, worst case scenario, I would have got scrap metal out of it. So I don't know why people throw away stuff like this. I guess more in a well-off to do neighborhood where they kind of throw their money out of the way. Something like that where they never clean it. They just don't want to get their hands dirty. But hey, for somebody like me that I don't mind getting my hands dirty, that was actually quite a great investment. I'll probably use the grill again tonight. I used it yesterday, and it was perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's a nice little birthday gift for me. So, thanks for watching, and take care.